it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on the first layout from the RTS Scrapbooking Summer 4 for 4 series that's here on YouTube. I've already got my papers cut and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm so excited to start using these papers, so it wasn't too bad. I am going to be scrapbooking these pictures here of my dad and my daughter, but really it's mostly about my dad. Here, this is his mother, my grandmother. She's still in her nightgown that morning, so I decided she may not want that on the internet. And I'm going to tell the story of this octopus that is on my dad's leg. So I've got my papers all done. I've got some embellishments picked out, some stamps that I want to try and use. So let's get started. One of the fun things about this particular 4 for 4 series is Miss Janet talks about her go-to designs. And this particular one she calls the Happy Horizontal. And what I'm going to do with it is put it off to the side a little bit. So I've got two 6 by 12 pieces of paper here, and I'm going to overlap this one a little bit, and then I'm going to shift it over to the right hand side just a little bit. And I'm gonna make sure that everything is straight and level, and then I was measuring there to see exactly how much I needed to trim off. So I go ahead and trim that down, and I just absolutely love these papers. I just have to take a minute and just look at that beautiful blue wood grain and those really beautiful multicolored polka dots. That's like the best thing ever. Oh, I love that so much. So I'm going to get that down. And now I have this little strip of pinky peachy paper with some beachy icons on it, and then my striped paper strip. And here, y'all, I have sabotaged myself. I had a plan in my mind, and I had pulled supplies out to execute this plan that I had in my mind. And here I have just completely thrown a chink in my plans. I have sabotaged myself because this washi tape has gold on it. All of those beautiful little seashells are gold. Now, a lot of people don't have any trouble at all mixing metals. And usually I'm kind of that camp. Just use it. Whatever it is, just use it. It's fine. It all goes together. But in this case, it just, in my mind, it did not work. So what I intended to do originally ends up being thrown out the window, but I haven't realized it yet. So y'all got some knowledge that old me did not have at the time of making this layout. Oh my goodness. So I used my washi tape. I put it on some white cardstock so that you could see it really well, because I love those gold seashells. So I want you to be able to see them really well. And I went ahead and put down my other strips of paper. And now I am figuring out how I want to put my pictures on here. And they're all vertical 4x6s. And Miss Janet had, in her example that she did, she had vertical 4x6s, and one of them she overlapped and made it look like a 4x4. So that's kind of what I did here. And I've got my pictures in a certain order. So here in the United States, we learn to read from left to right, top to bottom. So in my mind, I've got to have my pictures in the order in which they occurred, left to right, top to bottom, so you read it like a story. but my title is not going to work if I do it that way. So I have to go ahead and bring my picture down a little bit. So it kind of makes me feel like it's not quite right, but it really doesn't matter. Just in my little OCD mind, it matters. It's still, you read the title and you see that picture of my dad standing there looking over my daughter. And what we were doing was making some, let's see, what did my aunt call them? Pirate booty books, I think is what she called them. So we just kind of made some traveler's notebooks. We made the signatures, and we made my cousin, she had made a bunch of different covers. And every time we go to the beach as a family, my aunt always has these really fun, crafty things to do in the middle of the day if it's too hot, or if we have a rainstorm come by, because we're at the beach, so we're going to have rain. So she has these really fun things to do while we're stuck inside, and this was one of them, making these traveler's notebooks. And my cousin had brought a bunch of different beachy themed stamps, and one of the stamps that she had was this octopus, and it's glorious. It is an absolutely beautiful stamp. I just love it. And my dad, he had come over to see what we were doing, and that octopus caught his eye. So he was asking us about what we were doing and all that kind of stuff, and we thought, hey, maybe he was going to make himself a pirate booty book. But no, he shocked us all, and I mean, we were like jaws to the floor when he got that octopus stamp and loaded it up with ink from a StazOn ink pad. A StazOn ink pad, y'all. And he plopped that thing down right on his leg. I just thought for sure that he was going to have that on for at least the rest of our trip. Because, StazOn, it stays on everything. Well, here's a little tip. He got that washed off that evening in the shower, so it didn't stay on the entire trip. But man, that would have been hysterical if it had have. Oh, but then, of course, he had to go and show his mom that he had a tattoo. Well, she did not approve of a tattoo. Oh, my goodness. If you could see the look on her face underneath that little Post-it note. It is so funny. But anyways, now that I have talked through the entire thing that I was doing, I had just taken some of my stamps here. And of course, if you're talking about a tattoo, then you have to have an anchor. Now, it would have been even better if the banner on this anchor right here had said, "Love, Mom." But it doesn't. It just says love. But that's okay. It still works. So I've got this anchor that I stamped out and I cut out. And I also have the little octopus that I stamped out and I cut out. And then I have a phrase that I also had stamped and I cut out. And the phrase says, "A grand adventure was about to happen." When he is showing his mom his new tattoo. Because that's the picture I'm going to put it on. But we haven't quite got there yet. Right now, I am working on trying to build a cluster around my title. And I'm not liking it. It's kind of bothering me that there's that gap in between the photo and the word big. And I try to fill it up with the sand dollar. So I have this sand dollar sticker from the sticker sheet. And I want to have the anchor right there beside the word big. So I was kind of wanting it to overlap the sand dollar and be in the right spot. And didn't like how it was looking. And so I'm like, well, maybe I just need to put more things on it. So I put the starfish on it. And I put that little pink shell. And then it was frustrating me. So I did like I always do. And I move on to something else. So I go ahead and I put my little phrase here. a grand adventure was about to happen. And I want to put my little octopus there, and I put some starfish with it. And I think this is one well, no, I haven't figured it out yet. So, if there is any criticism at all for this particular collection, it would be that the white outline around the stickers is too big. And that's such a small thing, because I can easily just trim some of that off. But I haven't really noticed it yet. Usually I notice it right away, because I'm the kind of person who likes there to be a small white border around my ephemera or stickers. Oh guys, y'all, this is where I figure out I have sabotaged myself, because all of those stickers on that sticker book that I was just flipping through, the ones I wanted to use were silver, and it had a ton of anchors, and I wanted to use them, but they were silver. And there I have put those gold shells on there, and you can't even hardly see them. I covered up most of it, but I just didn't like how it looked, and I wanted to use, in fact, this was even worse. Where I put those shells, that washi tape, was where I wanted to put one of the ropes with a knot tied in it that was silver, and I was going to put that along the join of my two bigger pieces of paper, and I completely forgot. I was blinded by the shimmery gold. That must be it. Because I hadn't even pulled that washi tape out. I just happened to look up and it was calling to me, so I had to use it. So here I have put one of my little canvas flare buttons down there in kind of the bottom middle. And that's where I'm going to build a little bitty cluster. Not anything big, but I decided that it needed to have some words in it, because the little cluster up at the top in my on the picture has words in it, and then of course the title, the big cluster there, that has words in it. So this small one at the bottom, it needed some words too. So I get my stamp back out again, and I stamp a couple of them to see if I can't get a nice clear image, and I go ahead and trim that out, and that one says life is better at the beach, because we always have a great time together when we are at the beach. So I get that trimmed out, and I'm going to stick that just right there. And also, while I was yammering on about sabotaging myself, I also had put down some enamel dots. And I chose to use 3 different colors, and I distributed them with 3 different sizes. So one of them has the big blue dot, then another one has the medium-sized blue dot, and another one has the small blue dot. And then I did that for the teal, or the turquoise, or whatever color that is, and then the peachy pink as well. And this is when I realized that, oh, this is throwing me off, because the white around the stickers is too big. But it's not too big on all of them. Some of them don't have quite as big of a white border, so not all of them need to be trimmed out, but that one did. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this cluster better to my eye, and I go ahead and rearrange some of the shells, and I put a few more shells on, and I put another little starfish, and it's better. But I'm still thinking this needs more. I mean, I've got this beautiful collection, and I want to put everything on this page. So I get out my border punch here that's got the little waves on it, and this paper of the palm trees. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I love the colors of it. I love the softness of it, and it is making a beautiful border strip. And when I do my border strips, I can't remember. I think there was a YouTuber on here. is her name Kelsey? I think I will link her down below. She's where I learned that you start your border punches in the center of your paper and work your way out. And I have had so much better success with making it all the way across my paper without it going cockeyed on me after I saw her do that. But I'll definitely link her down below so y'all can go and check her out. She's a lot of fun as well. Makes beautiful pages. So here I'm going to put one of these up here at the top. And I'm not spanning it all the way across. I'm just going to have it begin up under my vertical strips and then end there at the edge. And I did move my my little peachy pink coral colored enamel dot out of the way and then stuck that back. And then I'm going to put this one on the bottom, and I gotta figure out how to have them going both the same direction. I mean, I know how to do it. I just didn't want to cut the paper to do it that way. I was not really paying attention to it anyway. And I think with this one, it looks fine with them going in different directions. I think it gives it some added visual appeal and some texture. So I have it situated where I want it there. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out, oh no, I forgot. I actually journal on this one, y'all. I don't normally journal, but I haven't gotten to these pictures yet in my 2021 album. So I went ahead and journaled this story. And I just was talking about my dad putting that octopus stamp on his leg and his mother not being very impressed with it. So I'm going to put these little corally pink gold splatters in all around in my clusters, and that is going to do it. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like and maybe consider subscribing. And I hope that you are going to enjoy following along with this series, and we'll see what else we can get into. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.